Welcome to Your Time to Thrive with personal fitness coach Jason Stevenson.
Hi there, friends. Happy Wednesday. Welcome back to the Thrive Training Show. Yes, I'm your host today. I guess I'll be your host today. I'm usually the host. We're here live from Precision Fitness in Westerly, Rhode Island, coming to you because it's been a busy day. And like everybody in the New Year's resolutions, we're working. It's a little break right now, so we're going to bring my co-host and amazing producer, Mr. Ben Barber, on with me today.
Hey Jay, how are you?
I'm great, sir. How are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
Good
What are we talking about today?
The real secret of life.
Okay. The real secret of life. So things are gonna get pretty real right now.
Like, as a change from our normal conversations, we're actually going to be authentic today, right? Is that what the conversation is?
I feel like I need to be authentic. I've been so fake all week.
You've always struck me as an individual that is just fake all the time.
My water smells like celery.
See? That can't be true.
I didn't, if you asked me what celery smells like, I don't know, nothing, but this smells like celery.
Smells like celery.
I don't know what that is. Moving on. What is the real secret? What is the real secret of life?
Well, this is actually a continuation of our thought process from last week.
I don't remember last week.
I know it was a long time ago.
It really was.
7 whole days and lots of hours. What we were talking about was staying true to reality. And oftentimes people come out of the holidays with the best intentions to set amazing resolutions for themselves, whether it's health or wealth or changes that they want to make in their life. And unfortunately, the stats show that we suck at keeping resolutions as a people, as a species. With the best intentions, of course, most people aren't able to maintain those aspirations. And what we talked about was kind of setting some realistic goals and understanding timelines under those goals. You know, if I'm going to lose 30 pounds or I'm going to start a fitness habit, those habits and those changes take a lot of time. And I was thinking about the conversation because I had several follow-up conversations with friends and people that have listened to this podcast about that podcast. And I wanted to continue the message because I don't want people to get the wrong idea. I do think that making resolutions and setting intentions for improving your life are great ways of making huge changes in your life. And while we can both attest to track records, not necessarily telling us that they are always going to be successful, it's not a bad way to start. But I think that unfortunately, people don't have the right mindset in general to really achieve what they're looking for. So I found this quote by Alan Watts, and that's where this podcast theme came to mind today, because it really struck me as part of that process. You know, the way that we approach things is really how it's going to come out, right? Like if you go into something with the intention that it's going to suck, it probably will. You know, you're at the very least, you're not going to enjoy it. Whereas if you go into something, whatever it is, with the intention that you're going to have fun, that you're going to get something amazing out of it, that at least the experience will be pleasurable. At the very least, you're going to get a good experience out of that. You know, the experience might still be challenging. Whatever situation you're walking into might not be something that is easy or something that you're going to celebrate. But with the right mindset, you can achieve a lot of things. And I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. But the quote is, the real secret of life to be completely engaged with what we are doing. Instead of calling it work, realize it is play. Well done, sir. See, that's why you're the most amazing producer.
That's what they tell me. Yeah, I did not know what that quote was going to be 5 seconds ago. And then I just Googled it. Yeah, it's not a secret. It's just thinking on your feet. And instead of calling it work, realize it's play. That is amazing.
Isn't that awesome?
Yeah. That's what you said to me. So, like, quick backtrack, 9 years, almost 9 years. Wow. To you and I meeting each other. And I came into Anytime Fitness, right? And, you know, amazingly, if you can believe it, looking at the screen right now, I've made huge progress in those 9 years, but which is very sad, but true. And anyway, you and I had a conversation. Like, you're the first person that I met when I went in there, and I was so stoked after that conversation. And you talked to me about lifestyle change and you know, not thinking of it as work. And you were like, what do you want to do? I was like, I want to lose weight. And you were like, that, what do you want to do? And I was like, I miss playing basketball. And you were like, yes, you do. Yeah. Yeah. You play. Like, do not think of this as
Yes.
work. Think of this as play. You were hitting on that 9 years ago. And then the next day when I went in and I found out you weren't going to be my trainer, I was crushed. Um,
And then you didn't have any fun with the trainer that you had,
I had no
right?
fun. I had
Been
no,
miserable. He didn't laugh the
absolutely
entire time.
didn't laugh. There were no life lessons learned, and there was no laughter. Um,
That's definitely the kind of trainer I would hire. I
yeah.
completely understand that.
Uh, so anyway, yeah, but like I was, that was what happened though, and but it always stuck with me, right? To play and to focus on those things. So what you're saying right now and what this quote is saying is that it's all play, right?
Yes. Well, and not in the childish sense, the childlike sense. When we were kids, I didn't consider what I did after school as exercise. Like that didn't in my mind. Like when I wasn't on the team, I wasn't practicing. Uh, I didn't consider what I did as exercise. I just considered it getting from my house to my friend's house via the BMX bike that I had that was several miles across town. And then we didn't consider what we did together, which was riding our bikes or playing football or doing something with other friends and playing manhunt or even if just seeking somebody else to play with at the time. Like we would get together and then we'd go find somebody else. We would ride our bikes around town, or we would walk around town, or we would jog around town. And even just that act of getting to a destination was exercise and effort. If you were to tell somebody right now to go for a 2 mile bike ride or go see your friend, there's no difference. It's unfortunate though that we've evolved as a species and as a culture now that we have allocated space and time for fitness, as opposed to this is what I do that keeps me healthy and active. And it's one of the things I've seen really bloom from this last year. Gyms are closed. People don't want to go in internal spaces and be around a lot of other people. So the outdoor activity world has blown up. I mean, did you look at all the kayak sales and paddleboard sales this summer that like you couldn't buy a bike, paddleboard, or a kayak for the first couple months of the spring? As soon as the shutdown opened up again, you couldn't buy those things because people are actually going outside and doing things now.
This is amazing that we're used that this is the time. Like, I did not know. I cannot stress enough. Like, I don't really talk to Jason all that much about the show before we start. We always start a little late, and it's completely my fault. And but I literally, like, I wrote The Real Secret of Life. I wrote this out on the bottom as we started because I didn't know what we were talking about today. And I think that this is amazing because I watched a TED Talk yesterday by hold on, let me get his name because I want to give him credit for this.
Yeah,
Scientist,
pull it up.
Mark Rober. So I watched a TED Talk called the Super Mario Effect, right? And in it he was like we did a study of users, we asked them to take a simple test. And for half of the people in the test, we said, if you get it wrong, if you get the question wrong, or if you don't score high on the test, nothing happens. There's no results. Everybody starts with 200 points, and if you fail the test or you don't complete the maze, it was a maze, and if you don't complete the maze, nothing happens for every wrong try on the maze. The other team, if you didn't get the maze correct, the other group of random people, they took away 5 points. That meant nothing. These are imaginary points online.
Sure.
Like, they mean absolutely nothing. They took away 5 points out of 200. And that was it. That was the only like insignificant consequence to it. And the people that lost nothing when they lost the maze were more likely to try it more and to end up getting it right. And that was really interesting. And he equated it to Mario. Almost everybody has played at least the like 1-1 original Super Mario.
Yeah.
You know
Video
the
games.
concept. Yeah, you know the concept of you fall in a hole, you die, you come back, you start again, and you just do it. And none of us get really upset that we fell in the hole, right? I'm just paraphrasing, but none of us get like super
Yeah.
upset that we fell in the hole. We just know that like we need to jump a little further next time, or we need to, we just make the small adjustment, and it's not the end of the world. And then he also said there were later in it, that was a great point, and we can discuss that in a second. But later in it, he said, what if I asked you to take a test and it was this thing of 6 buttons, like 1 through 6, and it was like, and these are the instructions for the test, and it was like hit 1 and then 6, and then 1 and then 6, and then hold 1 and then tap 6. And it was like, this is crazy. You wouldn't do this for an hour. You wouldn't take this test for an hour. But if I change the buttons and then it turned into a Nintendo control, it was like, that is the exact instructions to finish this first part of the game. And your body just instinctively does it because you're playing, right? And I thought that was fascinating, because it's completely true. Like, and I've seen that in as much as like I literally am loving and have been loving for years learning Italian because I'm using Duolingo and it's a game.
That's awesome.
So like this whole thing of realizing that if you call it play, like it can really be transformative.
It is, because it's changing the way that you look at it, right? It's changing the way that you approach it, as opposed to just simply, I have to get up and exercise. I have to eat my vegetables. I have to drink my water. Just change the narrative. Change the conversation in your head so that you get the opportunity to do things. You're lucky to be able to go exercise. You're lucky to have access to vegetables and clean water. Use it as a game. Like I did yesterday, I had 6 glasses of water, whatever number you picked. Today, I'm going to do better. Can I do better than that? Compete with yourself, compete with friends. I know people that keep up their steps on a daily basis because they work in challenges on their apps. I got challenged for 10,000 steps every week. So now I'm going to compete with those people. It's the same approach. It's not like being a child. It is approaching it with the eyes of a child. Get to play a little bit. Enjoy your life. See these things that we take on as burdens. Like all of these most popular resolutions are things that people want to change in their life. Obviously, that's why they're making a resolution about it. But what they're forgetting is that they're gaining by choosing to change their life. By choosing to eat healthier because you want to lose weight. The end all goal of that is to be healthier and to lose weight. But you get to eat better. And then you've created habits that are healthy for you. So make it a game. Look online, read some cookbooks, talk to friends about recipes that you've never made before. Make it exciting to make food that's healthy, as opposed to, I got to eat 3 to 4 servings of vegetables today. I got to get in my fruit. It's not a burden. It's a gift. You have the chance to take care of yourself in a way that has benefits, and you can wrap your head around it in a positive way. Like one of my favorite childhood movies was Mary Poppins, and the song from that, there's lots of songs obviously from the original Disney version, but a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down. She taught the kids to sing and dance when they were doing their chores and to approach things with a little bit more enthusiasm.
Absolutely.
And we can do that to anything. Whether you're self-motivated or team motivated or internally or externally, the intrinsic response is the one that we're looking for. The self-talk that gives us positive energy and support is obviously our goal. But you can certainly get that extrinsic by involving other people and talking to them. Say, hey, I feel like I hit like 60% of my food goals last week. How did you do? And then make it a competition with each other, or who can come up with the best recipe for something that they're not really a fan of. Anytime you can take something that you don't really like that much, but is really good for you, and make it delicious, that's a win all day. And that's just an example for me of like what you can do as far as playing with your food. We're really going to take it that way.
Yeah.
Because it's sad. Our world has turned into an electronic-based, sedentary world, where we are getting that stimulus from the TV. You're getting lots of flashy lights and buttons. That's not real.
So what is one actionable way that you can sort of move into this healthier play like lifestyle at the moment? Like, what's one thing that we could do this week, today, right now?
My first suggestion is always movement based. Sit down for a minute and think about something that you really enjoy doing, that you really enjoy participating in, whether it's a sport or it's a simple activity, something you haven't done in years, something you used to do as a kid. I mean, when was the last time you were on a swing set? Or like, when was the last time you played tag or hide and seek? That those games that we used to play were exercise. But I guarantee you that 95% of the adults that I spend time with would be able to tell you that they haven't played tag or hide and seek in years, other than with their grandkids, or with their nieces and nephews. But those things that we used to do that brought us joy should still be part of our life. Whether it's choosing to grab an adult coloring book or a kid's coloring book and sit down quietly and listen to some music instead of turning on social media or turning on Netflix on Friday night. Listen to some good music and color. It'll make you happy, I promise. Or go find the physical activity that you haven't done in years, whether it's just going for a hike, go for a walk on the beach, go for a bike ride. If you haven't been on your bike in forever and you have a dusty bike in your house, I guarantee you'll remember how to ride it, and your body will too. Go for a bike ride. Bundle up if you live in the north, or quite frankly, anywhere in the country right now, because it's a little chilly out, but we've got the layers. Go out and do the things that make you feel more alive is one of my favorite phrases, whether it's work, family, relationships, or exercise. So that's the first step, right? And then make a list of things one day. Write it down. Oh, I haven't done this in forever. Or these things, these are the foods. So when I first talk to people about nutrition, it's the first step I say, okay, what do you like to eat? Not like what's your favorite food, double cheese pizza with meatballs and roasted peppers. Like, what do you like to eat? Right? And then we put our nutrition plan together from the foods that we already like. And then we'll start adding. All right, so we need a little bit more vegetables. Let's try adding a vegetable here. Or we need a little less starchy carbs, so let's try supplementing here. We need a little better lean protein, so we're going to add some lean protein here. But from the groundwork, we start with what tastes good, what's really delicious, and then build from there. Same thing in the gym. I never square hole round peg anybody. We come in and see what you can do first, and then we build from there. I try to do movements in every single person's individual plan that I know that they like, because they're going to do stuff that they don't like with me. That's why they pay me. But I also try to include things that I know that they like, that they feel strong doing. I think that's the point, isn't it? Like, there's parts of our life that you have to do because that's what we do. Like, pay the mortgage, pay the tax man, got to fill up the gas tank, got to sweep the front steps, you got to, mow the lawn. There's all these chores and responsibilities and requirements that we have in our daily lives. But there's an awful lot of time you get to choose what you want to do, how you want to do it.
We did those. You slyly picked up on the fact that I really loved ball slams, and those quickly became an everyday thing in the gym, which was nice.
Why not?
Yeah, I had missed them. So when when you guys left Anytime Fitness, I went with you, and there were no medicine balls to slam for a long time. Yeah. Anywhere that I was. And as soon as I walked into Precision, you were like,
ball slam.
And I was like, yeah. And then every it was included in one of the workout circuits or whatever every time, which was awesome. Megan has a question. She said, where do you think we lose that mindset of play versus work?
Oh, that's our process of adulting. I think it's when we translate the want to the have to, all that free time that we had as kids when we were playing, it gets filled up with responsibilities and accepted obligations, essentially. Plus the reality of the world is that money makes the world go round, right? And we have to earn money to be able to do that. I agree with that, Mom.
So one thing, I think that the, I feel like, so this is something that always stuck with me recently, like in the last few years as an adult, which was, I didn't mean merciful. Yeah, I didn't think you did.
So Mom said that that a lot of people lose it in school. There's a lot of square hole, round peg scenarios that we have to fit into in our school structures and systems. And while there's still recess, sort of, you're taught that there's a structure to it. There's a time to it. There's a way to do it. And I think that's the start of the destruction of that opportunity.
It's also expectations, right? So there's a societal expectation for you not to play like a child. And that is, so this is what I was saying when I was, a younger adult. I'm still a very young adult, I'm aware, but when I was a younger adult, I would often think about how, I remember one time a couple years ago, I was in our old house and I was looking up at a ceiling fan. I just had like an hour and I was sitting on the couch and I looked up at the ceiling fan and I noticed like that there were grooves in it. Like that it was like it almost looked like bamboo, like little shoots all through it. And I went, wow, I haven't looked at the details of anything. I have not looked at the details of anything for years. My brain goes, that's a table. That's a table.
Done.
But like as a child, I would like get under the table and look, and I like it occurred to me how long I had spent looking at the fabrics in the carpet as a child, like, and just thinking about like what they could be, or like what, like my imagination would run wild, and I would be like, you know what I mean? And I was like, that's amazing. And all I wanted was the time. So all I wanted um was like, as a kid on summer vacation, when it's kind of boring, is the greatest time in the world, because it's the time when you're bored on summer vacation, when you have weeks and months of nothing to do, and you can play your video games, and you can play basketball with your friends, and you can play all sorts of things, and you can annoy your parents, and you can go swimming, and you can do all of that stuff. The world is in endless abundance, and all you think during that time is, I wish that I was an adult so I never had to go back to school, and I could choose to do what I want, like this summer vacation, for the rest of my life. The issue is, you grow up, you are told that you need to work, and that you have expectations of you, and that you need to manage a budget, and you need to do all of this stuff. And any time that you have where it's free, where you can look at the intricacies of the design of your table legs, you don't do it, because you think, I should be doing something else. I should be doing something better. I should be working on something. I should be coming up with a side hustle. I should be working out. I should be eating better. I should be managing my finances. I forgot to call my mom back. Like, we get so enveloped in the day-to-day minutia of being an adult, that the time that we have, that is that time of wonder as a child, that is that time to play, makes us feel stupid and idle, and leads to more times when you are a child. Obviously, when you are a child, idleness leads to creativity, and idle time leads to creativity, leads to joy, leads to playing, leads to games. Idleness as an adult leads to essentially depression. And that's it.
Yeah. And
Most
that's
of the
societal
time.
construct. That's
Yeah.
the society telling you got to keep moving. You got to be more successful.
So how do we break that? It literally says in the Bible, Jason, when I was a child, I thought like a child, and when I was an adult, I put those childish things away.
Right.
You are going against the teachings of Jesus Christ right now.
I'm going into more detail. Remember that the teachings of Jesus and a lot of the teachers that have come before us were written in paraphrases and parables, so that we could interpret it to be meaningful to our lives, as opposed to a set of instructions. Because
Right.
that book would not have lasted very long if it was a set of instructions. If they just wrote the 10 Commandments out and were like, here you go, follow this, bye-bye, that would not be a book anymore. I mean, maybe it would be, because those are
I'm
pretty
just
good
kidding
rules.
about the biblical stuff. But for real though, like
No, it's true.
we believe we're supposed to not play anymore as adults.
Right. Well, that's what I mean. I think it's been bastardized. Your naivety, your selfishness, the innocence without awareness. There's definitely some pieces to childhood. The lack of accountability to the rest of the world. There's certainly things that are essentially expected of children, and not accepted as an adult are probably not bad ideas. It's okay. They can fight like that. They're little kids, and then we separate them. And they forget they were fighting, and then they go back to playing with their toys. As opposed to adults, that if you saw somebody fighting in a bar, that'd be a big deal. So I think that the idea is that we understand the maturity that is necessary for the time that we're in. You become an adult, you have to get a job. You show up on time. You do your job. And then you safely drive home from work in your car, and you don't hit anybody on the way home. You don't just bumper cars because I'm a child, I'm going to play. But to envision that experience and feel like you're in a video game while you're driving home, and to enjoy the drive, trying to avoid other cars as you would in a game, and to have some positivity, and listen to music that makes you feel happy and that you sing along to, that's childlike approach to the same effort, right? find a job that makes you feel more alive. Do things in your life that pay you, that feel like pleasure, that are fun for you to do.
Have you ever noticed that we tend to soundtrack our own life with the music that we choose, and that if we just made the simple choice of putting on some joyful music, it's really hard to like try to put on the music that you want to dance to, that you like to dance to, and try to stay in a bad mood for a half hour while that music plays. It's not going to happen. You're not gonna do it. But if you're sad and then you put on sad song radio, you're just gonna like
You're
feed your
done.
own you're just gonna feed your own depression.
You
Like
might as well go
and it
back to
feels
bed.
and it feels good for a minute, but like if you want to move, put on some music that makes you want to move. Put on some music that makes you want to smile. Put on something that makes you happy in the background. You know what I mean? Like but that simple thing of the music that you just talked about, like
Huge.
100%. If you like are not feeling motivated to work out, put on some music that makes you fucking happy. Oops, sorry, didn't mean to swear.
What? What? You can fucking swear on this show?
Whatever. Put on some music that makes you fucking happy.
And energetic music,
Yes,
positive music. One of the first dinners that I ever cooked for my wife in my apartment, she came in, and I'm a huge vinyl fan. I love the quality of the sound. I like the
you would
history
be.
behind the
You
music.
would be.
So she comes in, and I've got a jazz record playing, and I had a bottle of wine open, and I was just, I'm having a good time cooking in the kitchen, and I'm drinking my wine. I'm listening to jazz music. It was a nice Friday night, and she sits down, and I put this plate of food in front of her, and she looks at me. She says, "Do you do this every night?" And I said, "Truth be told, I probably would not have opened the bottle of wine with just myself, but I would have the jazz music on. I would be cooking dinner, just the same exact meal, and I would be dancing around the kitchen because it makes me feel happy. I come home and I put music on. You can ask her someday that there's a little speaker in our bathroom so that when I'm in the shower, when we're walking around in the bathroom in the morning or something, I have music playing in there. Whenever we get up on the weekends, the first thing I do, besides feed the dog, obviously, because she's definitely the priority and her belly is the priority, I put a record on and I put something on. She actually told me the other day that I have to switch out my morning one because I've been playing the Huey Lewis and the News record too much, apparently. But that record just makes me want to move and be happy and productive.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with that.
We always have on the good days in this house, 100% of the time we have music on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's the
Which
first, that
is
might,
most of the time, by the way, just saying, which is most of the
yeah,
time. But like we have speakers in the living room. We have little Bluetooth speakers that travel with us into the rooms if we need to.
yeah,
I constantly have my phone blasting in the basement down here. I used to have a big speaker set up over here that I'm gonna put back up in a few minutes. Like music was so important. When I cook Italian, I blast Italian music to make me feel like I am in Italy. Pure serotonin injected into my veins. I love that. I also love
I
that
love
because
it.
I know the story now of her and the different foods. So I think that that's amazing.
Right?
That is that comment. Go back and watch the episode where she is the co-host. That is such a more profound comment than you think that it is right now. Listening to this,
Right?
look at that comment and then go back on the Thrive Training Facebook page and watch her episode, and you will see how profound that comment is and
Yeah.
what a difference music can make. That's amazing. Thank you, Megan.
Huge. Huge. I mean, the truth is there are circumstances in our lives that, you have to do things, right? There are certain things we have to do. Like we have to do yard work. I throw my Bluetooth speaker outside on the back deck and turn music on that both my wife and I love. Kirsten likes some Jimmy Buffett. We'll play some Jimmy Buffett. She likes some Dave Matthews. We'll play some Dave Matthews. And then you're still doing manual labor, but you're singing in your head. There's this energy that we respond to that is the vibrations of music. The easiest fix for anything that you don't really want to do is to change the atmosphere, change your
Yeah.
mindset, and then
Have
you
you
won't
ever heard?
mind it.
Have you ever heard an actor say that like 90% of the character is the costume. Once you put
Yes.
on the costume, like you
Makeup,
all of a sudden
costume.
you know how to walk as that person. All of a
Yeah.
sudden you know what I mean? Like it becomes more play. It becomes
Yes.
more play when you put it on and then you're able to go into it. And another thing for this show, right? Go back because it's all video. Go back and watch some of the old shows and watch my energy level and then watch it the last couple weeks since I've had this microphone. This really expensive but dumb microphone that, like, for whatever reason, me being able to talk into this microphone like this has made me so much more energetic on shows because
And
I love
happy.
it. I'm
It made you
excited.
happy.
I've and we've had this microphone for years and I just never set it up, you know. We had it, like, we had it on other stuff. Dave uses one like it a lot and I just wasn't doing it, you know. But then I got the arm and I was like, I'm gonna set it up and, like, oh, I wonder if it'll make me, feel a little different or whatever to be using, because it was a weird thing of, I was like, I don't want to have a lot better audio quality than all of my hosts or all of my get like, I don't wanna, uh we were all when everybody was in the same room years ago, we all had the same audio quality, and now it's like I can't send a $500 microphone to everybody.
Why not
And
then? As your friend, I'm asking, why not?
I sent you a mic. I sent you a mic.
That's not a $500 microphone,
I did
sir.
not send you a mic. I did not send you a $500 mic, but I sent you a mic.
You did, and I will always be grateful for that.
Oh,
It
stop it.
just didn't fit in my bag today before I came here
Oh,
this morning.
stop it. No, you and for good reason. But my point is though, like, talking into a microphone makes you feel more like a podcaster. It just does. Talking into, like, if if we were not live right now, but
Yep.
I was still at my desk, I would probably talk into this thing just because it's funny to me. Just because it's funny to me. And I'm a legit, believe me, it seems crazy. I'm a legit professional at this. I get paid and people like me and, like,
It's true.
it's
It's true.
cool. It's cool. I don't know how to establish this. I am a for reals producer of people that are kind of important, which is insane to me. But I think that it's really fun to talk into a microphone directly.
Yes.
So, like, this is seriously bringing me childlike joy to just have this microphone to go. Yeah, Jason. So absolutely. And yeah, I'm gonna move it over here now. And oh yeah, so that's great. Like, I don't know why, but it's fun. And because it's fun, it makes me do my job better.
Yes.
And that, I think, is amazing. I love this
Isn't that the
show.
best
I love
part?
you, Jason. This
I
is
love
great.
you too, man. That's the best part. And that's something that you evolved into because there was a need and you just fed the need. Somebody said, "Hey, will you do this for us?" And you said, "Yeah, I'm good at that. I like doing that." And you just follow it. When you follow the money, you get in trouble. When you follow your passion in your heart, you will never go wrong. Damn right. Peace and love. We need more of that. And that's the beautiful part too. For me, it's always pay it forward. I've come from people that have taught me many things, and I'm super grateful for that. So I feel responsible to continue to do so and to share that enthusiasm. Um, it, it's the it's the way that you do things. It's how you approach them that is going to change how you experience them.
Yep.
So make it play, right? Get out there and enjoy yourself.
Absolutely.
Life's too short. You're not going to love everything. I'm not crazy enough to think that it is because I'm aware of that. But the reality is you're not going to love everything. You're not going to be full of joy over everything. But you have a choice in how you do that. And you can make it joyful. You can make the experience better. And you can change the narrative because you control that.
Absolutely. There is enough terrible stuff happening around all of us, especially right now. And I mean that on every possible level for every person. We all have a lot of terrible stuff that's going on around us right now. Every opportunity that you can, play, find joy, have fun in the positive things for yourself. That's amazing.
Give the gift to
Thank you,
yourself.
Jason. And that is the real secret of life.
Yeah, buddy. Thank you, folks, for hanging in there with us and for checking out the Thrive Training Team podcast. If you have any questions related to your health and fitness, please don't be shy and reach out. Jump on the website. There's workouts, there's fitness tips, and there's ways of reaching out to me. I'm here for you. You guys have a great day. Go enjoy your life and play out there. We'll see you next time.
For more information, tips, and workouts of the day, check out thrivetrainingteam.com.